Welcome to Ogtv Comprehensive News. I am Tunji Akintayo. On the news, Governor Amosu denies sponsoring thugs at Ogun APC presidential rally. President Buhari, other presidential candidates sign peace accord. Venezuela opposition leader vows to bring in AIDS. The ignorance of one voter in a democracy impairs the security of all. Be civil during the elections. Now the news in full. Over 700 past political office holders who served between 2007 and 2015 at the local government councils in Ogun State have received their severance allowance at the disbursements of checks ceremony held at the arcade ground Okemosan Abeokuta. The state governor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, said his government has paid a total of 2.6 billion naira in 3 batches to former political office holders. Charity James reports that the governor also promised to pay all entitlements before the exit of his administration.
The first batch of the severance allowance to past political functionaries paid by the administration of Senator Ibikunle Amosun was done on the 24th of June 2014 with a promise to pay up all old severance allowance, a promise kept with a second batch payment. This gathering of the third batch for disbursement of checks to former political appointees at the instance of Governor Amosu covers local government council chairmen, vice chairmen, councillors, supervisors, as well as secretary to the local government councils between 2007 to 2015.
By this gesture, it has also become crystal clear that Senator Ibikunle Amosun is a man of integrity and one who could always be trusted to do that which is right at all times, in spite of seeming challenges.
The need to reward hard work and service to humanity, as well as their love to serve the state, prompted the payment, as some beneficiaries salute the fatherly role the governor plays in politics.
Yes, this is our right, but if you decide not to pay, there's nothing anybody can do. And I am most delighted that particularly around this time, very rare politicians who are not fathers can pay. Because ordinarily, he will have gotten counter-advised. Don't pay these opposition people when election is closed.
And on behalf of the good people of Ogun Central, once again we want to say thank you to this deserved leader, worthy leader, a father that is worthy of emulation.
Governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosun did wonderfully well for us. He promised us that before the election, he will pay the money.
Acknowledging their contributions to the development of the state, Senator Ibikunle Amosun points out that his administration is committed to paying all entitlements of public and civil servants.
Since the inception of our administration, we have kept faith with the payment of gratuities and pensions to retired public servants. It is important that as we kept on paying retirement benefits for civil servants, we must also do the same for their political counterparts, since the two public servants and political office holders are two sides of the same coin. This we believe will encourage our people to put in their best and make the development efforts sustainable. Let me assure our people on either side of the coin, either as a political office holder or public servants, that we will continue to keep faith with the payment of their entitlements after their service to their state.
As the election dates draw near, Governor Amosun charges politicians to protect the general interest of the state.
Nobody can love our state more than us in this regard as politicians. And in all capacities that we find ourselves, we must ensure that we do not make ourselves ready tools in the hands of those that are making efforts to make our dear state a vassal of their empire.
The current administration in the state has paid a total sum of 2.6 billion naira since the commencement of severance allowance in 2014. Charity James, Ogtv News.
The governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, has denied allegations by the National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressives Congress APC, Malam Lare Isao Nilu, that he sponsored thugs to the presidential rally of the party in the state on Monday. In a reaction to the statement, Special Advisor to Governor Amosun on Information and Strategy, Mr. Rotimi Drojaye, has it that the allegation is ridiculous, adding that it is uncalled for by a party to accuse Governor Amosun of sponsoring thugs to the rally organized and hosted by him. The statement added that rather than the threat to deal with Governor Amosun after the elections, the party should dissipate its energy in dealing with those who include the party's national chairman, Comrade Adams Oshomole, and his cohorts for their anti-democratic conduct, which has denied APC scores of legislative seats and a number of executive positions across the country. Governor Amosun therefore asked them to throw in the towel for undermining the chances of the party, which they have cornered for their selfish ends. The statement described as unthinkable such frivolous allegation, noting that Governor Amosun has a robust relationship with President Muhammadu Buhari and would not organize thugs against the president. Mr. Rotimi Drojaye noted that the statement credited to Malam Isao Nilu is therefore a confirmation of the personification of the APC by Comrade Adams Oshomole, who is using the party to ventilate his personal grounds against Governor Amosun. In his words, it is however becoming clear to every discerning mind that the recent outburst is as a result of the injustice meted out to the overwhelming majority of members of the APC in Ogun State by Comrade Oshomole and his cohorts. It notes further that President Buhari was accorded unprecedented rousing welcome into the MKO Abiola Stadium on arrival, until the peaceful atmosphere was incensed by unguarded speeches of former governor of Osun State, Rauf Aregbesola, and Comrade Adams Oshomole. The statement also put on record that contrary to erroneous impression being peddled that the campaign tour ended abruptly, Governor Amosun said all activities lined up for President Buhari were duly attended, and this included meeting with the Ogun State Council of Traditional Rulers at the June 12 Cultural Center with 1,012 traditional rulers and chiefs comprising paramount rulers, high chiefs, bales, and olorituns from across the state, who later had a private lunch at the presidential lodge with them. President Muhammadu Buhari has joined other presidential candidates for the forthcoming general elections to renew their pledge for peaceful elections. This was at the second signing of the National Peace Accord on Prevention of Violence and Acceptance of Election Results under the auspices of the National Peace Committee. The president said although the elections are significant for the growth of the nation's democracy, they are important only to the extent that they make Nigeria peaceful and stronger. Amidst this musical interlude, the second peace accord by the presidential contenders was signed and sealed as the world awaits the peaceful conduct of the presidential polls in the country. To the standard bearers, Nigeria has been a great beneficiary. Request peaceful polls, smooth transition in stabilizing democracies in the African continent. Consensus from the event is the conviction that the resolutions by the presidential candidates and their accord will be binding for a hitch-free polls. This accord is the second in the series of efforts to ensure a violence-free election. President Muhammadu Buhari says the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable and the federal government will not spare any efforts to ensure the elections are credible. The president stated this during a courtesy visit by the Commonwealth Secretary General, Right Honorable Patience Scotland, at the State House, Abuja, after attending the signing of the Peace Accord. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says the Secretary General described Nigeria as a treasured member of the Commonwealth family, adding that the signing of the Peace Accord will lead to a better voter turnout. The statement added that the Commonwealth Secretary General also lauded the energetic way the President has pursued his use of security and anti-corruption, pledging that the Commonwealth stands ready to assist Nigeria at all times. As the 2019 presidential elections draw near, more groups and associations continue to mobilize support for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari. The latest is a non-governmental organization under the auspices of Progressive Movement Association in Abeokuta North Local Government of Ogun State, who paid a visit to the Ogun State Governor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, to declare support for President Muhammadu Buhari and the governor. Matthew Showumi reports.
Progressive Movement Association, PMA, led by Ismail Akimbo, is a non-governmental group formed by people of like minds related by blood and friendship, mainly from Abeokuta North Local Government area. PMA is also committed to the development and progress of the nation and their immediate community. The commitment of the President Buhari-led federal government to the development of the nation is the reason for their advocacy campaign and support for his administration. As the 2019 presidential elections draw near, the visit to the Ogun State Governor, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, is to declare their support for the re-election of the president and the determination to support the governor all the way in the elections. They say this is as a result of his performance as governor of the state.
Now we are numbering 2,500 members. We are with Governor Ibikunle Amosun too, because we are from Ogun State and we are seeing what Governor Amosun is doing in our state.
Honorable Shehu Shomoye, explaining what the association stands for, says their support for the re-election of the president is informed by his performance in office. Chairman of All Progressives Congress in Ogun State, Chief Derin Adebiyi, praises members of PMA for putting the interests of the nation and Ogun State first by supporting candidates with the capacity to deliver progress and development and build on the foundation that has already been laid by Governor Amosun. Governor Amosun says the advocacy should be sustained till after election and asks them to take their commitment further by supporting candidates, among them for elective posts. Governor Amosun, on his support of an Ogun West candidate as his successor, says consensus building is a key tool in politics, and this informed his decision.
I'm sure that all our leaders will be interfacing with you. Once in a while, if I need to let it go, why not? But I will tell our incoming governor by the grace of God, so that he can embrace groups like this, associations like this.
The governor says he is extremely delighted that an organization that is interested in how to move the nation forward originates from its roots, adding that the essence of any political engagement should basically be the progress of the people and the society.
In what we are doing, let us not say because we are political, we will not be part of the process to elect the kind of leaders that they wish for themselves.
Matthew Showumi, Ogtv News.
Over 200 members of Honorable Ladi Adebutu Group and the People's Democratic Party from Yewa North Local Government have joined Senator Ibikunle Amosun to work for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari. These and many more stories after this timeout. Do stay with us.
Election don't come. Make we sabi who we go vote for. Now, Amosun.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen attentively. Amosun get experience. He promised to do Ogun, and he could do Ogun get better standard. Industry and infrastructure. Ọwọ́ méjì fún bàbá. Amosun don boost tourism, and he support artists. We don dey do drum festival. Ogun State don fine o, na him go go represent us o. Ogun Central Senate, Amosun do better thing o. And we vote Amosun, we go vote Amosun. Ogun Central Senate, even for presidency. And we vote Buhari, we go vote Buhari o. To go to next level, we go vote Amosun, we go vote Buhari. Oya Wakago Senate, we go vote Amosun. APC, next level!
You're most welcome back. Over 200 members of Honorable Ladi Adebutu Group in the People's Democratic Party from Yewa North local government area have joined Senator Ibikunle Amosun to work for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari come February 16th and all other elective posts that belong to Senator Ibikunle Amosun's camp. A strong chieftain of the party from Yewa North local government, Evangelist Titus Olusoji Eweje, led the group to a meeting with Senator Ibikunle Amosun. The DCAMPs expressed their willingness to deliver their local government for Senator Ibikunle Amosun at all levels.
Governor Ibikunle Amosun have shown us the way to go. If you can recollect, we Ogun West have been agitating for this #1 seat in Ogun State, which is governor of Ogun State. And thank God now that the current governor have choose someone from Ogun West, which is Akinlade, we are very happy. We believe that since he has supported him, we are going to win. So we appreciate him for what he's doing for us in Ogun West. And by the grace of every citizen, everybody in Ogun West will vote for Akinlade.
Governor Ibikunle Amosun welcomed them into the party as a promise to ensure that the dreams of Ogun West, which they belong to, is actualized. Amosun told them to hold themselves strong as the work ahead of them is to be actualized through their permanent voter cards come February 16th and March 2nd. Candidates contesting for various elective positions on the platform of the Allied People's Movement in Ogun State have been assured of total support in the forthcoming general elections. Residents of Ifo local government area gave their assurance during the campaign rally in the council area.
Candidates. Allied People's Movement campaign team was in Ifo local government area to inform the electorate on the need to vote for the party, as Sunre was the first port of call. At Ojodu and Isheri wards, the party's gubernatorial candidate, Honorable Adekunle Akinlade, says returning President Muhammadu Buhari and bringing APM to governance in Ogun State will no doubt take the state to greater heights.
President Muhammad Buhari is a man of high integrity. All the projects we're doing are the road project. We do not want that project to be abandoned. Investment, development, growth, Madrid State the project here. Let's focus on the capital and vote for our fathers. Come 2nd of March, we shall all come out and vote APM for governor, vote APM for assembly.
Appraising the level of infrastructure development in their council area, some residents say with APM, more development will come their way.
Akinlade is talented. Akinlade is amiable. But we want him again to start where the governor left.
I saw him a year ago when the people of Yewa are talking about him in infrastructure and empowerment that have did. And I really happy and I rejoice and I pray for him that God will lead him to the high post that he's looking for.
By vote, I'll give Honorable Akinlade my own votes. I'll give him my votes.
At Alagbole, Ajuwon, Akute, Okearo, Ibaragun, and other wards, Honorable Akinlade said the party will incorporate village heads in the policy of security and welfare of the residents. The Alagbado of Agbado, Oba Adedayo Shogulu, says the entire Agbado community will ensure total victory for APM. The campaign tour continues. Peter Falomo, Ogtv News.
With few days to the 2019 general elections, the National Orientation Agency, NOA, has appealed to Nigerians to toe the path of peace before, during and after the elections, irrespective of political persuasions and affiliations. Director General of the agency, Dr. Garba Abari, made the appeal while addressing newsmen in Abuja. Dr. Abari expressed worries over the dimension of hate speech and fake news that have been introduced into electioneering by political actors and their supporters across the country. He pointed out that unwholesome practices ought not to be in the nation's maturing democracy, adding that the youth should be vigilant as well as shun drug and substance abuse, which can predispose them to violence.
This is certainly a highly combustible state was credited to politicians in a reasonable ways that are all understanding to please give peace a chance. No political ambition is worth the blood of any Nigerian. Hence, the need to keep the peace before, during, and after the elections. The media have a particular responsibility in this, especially when it comes to dissemination of information about the results. In this era of fake news, we are calling on all Nigerians to first and foremost, before sending out any information, verify the source.
The National Orientation Agency boss also stressed that no one is above the law, thereby calling on politicians to be properly guided and do the right thing at the right time. Democracy must be protected by ensuring that political parties and other stakeholders create a conducive environment for citizens to increase their confidence in the nation's electoral process. This was the submission of the Director General, National Orientation Agency, Dr. Garba Abari, at the campaign against vote buying and selling ahead of the forthcoming general elections. Adebola Oshomoji has the details.
As the 2019 general elections is fast approaching,
Issues of vote buying has been the major concern of all stakeholders in the election process. Towards creating awareness for eligible voters against selling their votes, the National Orientation Agency organized this campaign.
We are doing this program in all the 774 local government areas of the Federation, including the Abuja Area Council, to tell Nigerians in the different languages, to let Nigerians know that this time around they cannot afford to sell their votes.
In attendance are the royal fathers, stakeholders, chairmen of political parties, security agencies, and youth leaders. Giving his keynote address, Director General, National Orientation Agency, Dr. Gaba Abari, represented by Mr. Kende Ogunkwade, enumerates some challenges that could lead to void vote buying, and vote selling.
Those who are registered and have their permanent voter card should know that the card is one's power to elect credible leaders. We therefore appeal to all of you not to sell your votes, your permanent voter's card, and by doing so, you will not mortgage the future of our youth or the development of this nation.
In his address, INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner in Ogun State, Professor Abdullahi Ganiu Raji, says over 600,000 voter cards are yet to be collected and urge people to collect their PVCs to enable them exercise their civic rights. Alake and paramount ruler of Egbaland, Oba Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo, speaks on behavioral attitude towards achieving free and fair election in the country.
If you are patriotic, you will not take money to vote for anybody. If you are patriotic, you will not give money to anybody for any favor whatsoever. We have discipline. If you are disciplined, you will not jump queues. And our people are already learning to stand on queues and know that they are not more important than those who are already on the queue.
In their goodwill messages, security agencies opined that all hands must be on deck to achieve credible elections. Adebola Oshomuji, Ogtv News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps Ogun State Sector Command has reiterated its commitment towards ensuring that the process of the 2019 general elections is not undermined. The State Sector Commander Clement Oladile stated this during a one-day workshop for FRSC members of staff preparatory to the elections held at the FRSC base, GRA Ibara, Abeokuta. Yusuf Ganiyu reports.
In order to ensure free, fair and credible elections, the Federal Road Safety Corps Ogun State Command organized a one-day capacity building workshop for members of staff that will participate in elections, basically to remind them on the needed impetus during and after elections. The workshop is tagged towards ensuring a successful 2019 general elections, FRSC roles and responsibilities.
So anybody who will be moving, who will be moving with his or her vehicle on that day, will have to have one thing or the other to do with election process. So such individuals are to be allowed by FRSC for free movement. But anything short of that, it is of people that are engaging in regular movement on the day, it is the role of FRSC to caution such individual. And if it will require arrest, to make necessary arrest.
The rules of Federal Road Safety Corps, we cannot. Movement should be restricted. INEC told us they will track their vehicles, their trackers will be on their vehicles so as to avoid the diversion.
The state chairman, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Comrade Wale Shokunbi, appealed to FRSC authority to provide an enabling environment for effective participation during elections, adding that the media will also be alive to their responsibilities.
Our members have to be very sensitive. They have to be very careful and very cautious when they are giving out information of election. Because whatever we do will be mark or make this election. but we have to ensure that we make this election so that those who are planning for the success of this election, like FRC, AUD at the media, must also be part of that success.
The sector commander, FRS Ogun State Command, Clement Oladele, says all hands must be on deck to ensure free and fair polls.
The role of paramilitary organizations in FRS is the paramilitary organization within the ISIS framework. FRS is the lead agency for road traffic administration, and then we are also the safety managers responsible for ensuring that the highways are safe for motorists and for all other categories of road users. We looked at the primary role and other ancillary roles that the FRS is supposed to perform in the conduct of peaceful and successful elections.
Commander Oladele noted that the workshop was organized to achieve each free elections. Yusuf Ganiyu, Ogtv News.
In order to ensure good governance and make restructuring of Nigeria come to reality, a group in southwestern part of Nigeria, Egba Group, has identified referendum as a good step for the agitation of the nation's restructuring. The chairman of Egba Group, Honorable Justice Demola Bakari, made this known while presenting the position paper of his group on restructuring Nigeria at Ake Palace, Abeokuta. Kule Ibikule's report is presented in this package.
On development of any given society, state, or country depends on collective efforts of all citizenry. To this end, Egba Group is not leaving any stone unturned as it joins hundreds of various groups, associations, and geopolitical zones in the country to make its position known on the agitation of restructuring of Nigeria. Presenting the group's paper to journalists in Abeokuta, the chairman, Egba Group, Honorable Justice Demola Bakri, identifies major benefits of restructuring to Nigerians as he lays emphasis on referendum as the major step towards ensuring restructuring in the country.
It's critical that issues that are essential, like restructuring, should be put before the populace in a referendum. That is the politically correct thing to do. This should be done at both national and regional levels. Alternatively, the national one should be designed in such a way that the result can be so disaggregated to reveal regional preferences.
On the position of the Egba people, Honorable Justice Bakri speaks.
Egba people demand a return to parliamentary system of government, return to 6 separate regions. There is a genuine feeling among several sections of the country that the present arrangement constitutes an impediment to the more rapid development of other parts of the country. If the Southwest had been allowed to continue at her pace of development of the 1950s and 60s, the story would have been different today. Therefore, Egba people demand a return to 6 regions.
Fielding questions from journalists on whether referendum will affect Nigerians negatively based on the literacy level, Chief Olashobande and Professor Tunji Odedeyi shed more light.
And that's the cradle of democracy in the world. Britain. They have problems, even their own referendum. So it's an issue, but we have to face the issue. Doesn't stop us from going for a referendum and get the best decision from the people. Do you want to live together? Or do you want to live in a region? Do you want autonomous powers or what?
An ordinary man on the street, even the market man, if they can vote because of mass media, because of education. Our people are highly educated and intelligent. It's a matter of letting them know why we want this thing to be. Otherwise, the status quo remains and we cannot move forward than where we are.
Honorable Justice Demola Bakri said the group has carefully considered the state of affairs in the country in the past as well as the present and used lessons learned to articulate what Egba people want, adding that the democratic and peaceful way to do this is through restructuring.
One of the desires of the Senator Ibikunle Amosun-led administration is to make living more abundant for all residents across the nooks and crannies of the Ogun State, particularly the rural dwellers. To this end, the administration would continue to provide an enabling environment where relevant civil servants could meet, discuss ideas and innovations for proffering solutions to identified problems militating against service delivery and development among the rural populace. The state deputy governor, who also oversees the affairs of the Ministry of Rural Development, Chief Mrs. Yetunde Ononuga, made this remark in Abeokuta while declaring open a day retreat with the theme Fulfilling Mandate, organized for senior officers in the ministry. Chief Mrs. Ononuga, represented by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Rural Development, Mr. Wale Ogunyomade, reiterated the commitment of the government to rural development, emphasizing that the ministry was created with the sole mandate of transforming rural areas in the state through provision of potable water, electrification, provision of good roads, among others, to enhance socio-economic growth in rural communities.
There's a need for you to stand out. Let people know what you stand for, no matter what the circumstance. And your integrity will always be put to test. People may not understand why you do what you do, but eventually they will see the reason behind what you do.
On its part, the state head of service, Engineer Lanrewaju Bisiriyu, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Civil Service Commission, Mrs. Amokwe Choko, noted that the program will prepare the staff of his ministry to discover valuable strategies to evaluate past performances and serve rural dwellers better. Earlier in his welcome address, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mr. Agbele Olugbebi, disclosed that the program was put together to rejuvenate staff, build bond between them, bring issues of mandate to the fore, and set goals for the new year. A two-day workshop has been organized by the Ogun State Local Government Service Commission for executive officers in the commission to improve their effectiveness and efficiency. The workshop, with the theme Productivity Improvement Course for Executive Officers, was held at Olusegun Obasanjo Hilltop, Okemoson, Abeokuta. Ifesholu Ade's report is presented in this package.
Ensuring that workers in the Ogun State Local Service Commission receive extended training for proper productivity, a two-day workshop has been organized for executive officers with support from Industrial Training Coordination Center, University of Ibadan. In their opening remarks, Commissioner 1 in the Commission, Honorable Kayode Shodinyo, and the Director of Industrial Training Coordination Center, Engineer Yinka Omotosho, charged the executive officers to extol the virtues of accountability, transparency, and diligence in the course of discharging their duties.
Please permit me to say that the officers in this course are the most concerned when matters of ethics, corporate image, administration, accountability, and probity are brought to the limelight of considerations. A critical review of the functions of these officers, coupled with the personal requirements of the job, reveals the need for training and training of this set of local officers in local government.
Therefore, becoming increasingly clear that career officers at the local government level are being confronted with enormous challenges in meeting the application, aspiration, and yearnings of the people at the grassroots. This is the rationale for capacity building and staff development through constant and continuous training and the training of our staff for optimal performance.
One of the speakers speak on the importance of division of labor under every administrative setting.
When we talk about centralization, that means there is no delegation of authority at all. And that does not give room for development of the subordinates. Over-centralization is not an ideal thing for any administration. Allow your officers to make mistakes. It's when they are making that mistakes that you're going to correct them.
Some participants also expressed their optimism at the positive effect the training would have on them.
This will enhance our productivity. I like it. They have really tried. I can see the resource person. I believe they have something to pass across to us.
The two-day workshop, which is meant to tackle issues ranging from ethics, corporate image, administration, accountability, and probity, ends on Thursday, 14th of February, 2019.
Some teaching and non-teaching staff in public secondary schools in Ogun State from grade level 6 to 10 have sat for the 2016-2017 promotion examination computer-based test in 3 senatorial districts of the state. The monitoring team of the State Teaching Service Commission was at the Taisholare University of Education in Ijagun to monitor the exercise. Idowu Fabajo has the details.
They are teaching and non-teaching staff of public secondary schools in Ogun East Senatorial District as they gathered at the premises of Taisholare University of Education Ijagun Ijebu-Ode for the 2016-2017 promotion examination computer-based test. The examination, which was well coordinated, had TESCOM officials on ground to monitor proceedings, while some candidates described the exercise as interesting.
Very peaceful. And we find it easier once we have been taught how to make use of the computer itself before the commencement of the examination. So it was fine.
The examination was interesting, very, very interesting.
Speaking with Ogtv News after the exercise, the Commissioner 1 at Ogun State Teaching Service Commission and Chairman Promotion Committee, Otumba Timothy Adebowale, describes the conduct of the exercise as very satisfactory.
In fact, this is the first time we are having CBT exam to promote our teachers. But so far, so good, we are getting there. They are doing their best. People are cooperating. They are working the way they should work. And we can see, so when you move in now, we see that people are really working on their systems.
According to him, the teachers were trained about 3 months ago on how to go about the computer-based test.
I just want to advise them that they should try to develop themselves in ICT. They should be up to date. In essence, they should be ICT compliance.
The exercise was also aired simultaneously at the Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, Ojeri Abeokuta, for Ogun Central, while that of Ogun West Senatorial District took place at the Federal Polytechnic, Ilaru. Idowu Fabajo, Ogtv News.
Meanwhile, the computer-based test for the year 2016-2017 promotion examination being conducted by the Ogun State Teaching Service Commission for candidates on grade level 6 to 10 in Ogun Central and Ogun East Senatorial districts will continue on a date to be announced later. In a statement by the TESCOM chairman, Chief Mrs. Olabozipo Ogunson, all candidates who are yet to sit for the examination shall be communicated through their zonal secretaries. Ogun State Institute of Technology, Igbesa, has matriculated over 2,000 students into National Diploma for the 2018-2019 academic session. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Science and Technology in the state, Alhaji Shefiu Rashid at the event stated that it is pertinent that a credible leadership in government, community or religion accord education a primary priority. Shemilore Amore has the details.
On the occasion of its 13th matriculation ceremony, Ogun State Institute of Technology, Igbesa, administered oath of allegiance on over 2,000 matriculants for the 2018-2019 academic session.
I solemnly, sincerely swear by Almighty God.
While congratulating the institution's monumental success, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, Alhaji Shefiu Rashid, advises the students to contribute their quota to the success of the school.
I show your administration doggedness in providing affordable and qualitative education with conducive learning atmosphere. This government has indeed invested heavily in the sector, spanning the primary, second and tertiary education, and there are 12 as well that excellence in the particular atmosphere.
will continue to consolidate on the achievements so far.
The rector, Dr. Olufunke Olanike Akinkurolere, affirms the institution system is aimed at promoting learning and entrepreneurship.
The vision of Ogun State Institute of Technology IBESA is to achieve an efficient and effective information technology-driven economy for sustainable development, and we have rigorously maintained that tradition over a decade now. This institution is committed to producing graduates who will create job opportunities in the country through the skills acquired in the course of their training here.
The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, its representative declares that the matriculants are the successful candidates that qualified for admission.
Before now, a policy meeting has been conducted where all laws relating admissions has been spelled out. All the stakeholders were present. Now they are matriculating.
The matriculants have this to say.
Things have not been really easy, but God has been with me through the journey up to this moment. And with my certificates when I get out of ND, for now, it's a secret to me. It's between me and God. Thank you.
It is a thing we have been waiting for so long, and I'm so glad, I'm so happy that I'm alive today. Being a student of Ogtv is not by power, but by the grace of God.
The ceremony was capped with musical performance.
The National Judicial Council has constituted a 5-man panel to investigate the allegations leveled against the suspended Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onogen, and the acting CJN, Justice Tanko Muhammad. The panel is to be headed by a retired Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice S.A. Akinton, who, like other members of the committee, is a member of the council. NJC's Director of Information, Mr. Sojiuye, said in a statement that the council took the decision after accepting the result of the preliminary assessment of the petitions written against the duo. In the meantime, the Code of Conduct Tribunal CCT has issued a bench warrant against the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, Walter Onogen, for arraignment on February 15th. It also mandated Inspector General of Police Mohammed Adamu and Director General, Department of State Services, DSS, Yusuf Magaji, to effect his arrest. This development was sequel to an application by the prosecuting counsel, Aliyu Umar, praying the tribunal that a bench warrant be issued against Onogen, whom he said has been consistently absent, in order to compel his appearance. Umar, however, argued that his application for a bench warrant was appropriate, given that Onogen's non-appearance was the main reason upon which the last adjournment was approved. You're watching Ogtv News. Up next is the business segment after this time.